Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Tuesday? If you're with me here, go ahead and drop an emoji in chat, either here on Discord in the Market Clubhouse or here on YouTube. Go ahead and drop an emoji in chat if you're with me here. We got Smooth. We got Discount. Good morning. Beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. We got Trader Pixie here. Jay Quinn. How is everybody doing? Just gorgeous. Well, we had an insane move here overnight in the NQ here. We had this big drop all the way from up here. Very, very big drop in the NQ overnight. A lot of action there. And now we are kind of bouncing here. We are above that 37 level. We had this low level of 98 and a quarter, 798 and a quarter. Now we're back into the 800s here. So almost a full 100-point rally there off the lows since 2 o'clock this morning. Well, 3 o'clock this morning. So now we are kind of holding above this 871. So what I'd like to see for a trade setup here is I'd really like to see the NQ pull back down to 871 and some solidified action there, a bounce there at that 871. We had our webinar yesterday on order blocks, and if you guys didn't identify it already, I actually had some messages talking about this order block right here. Some of you folks were identifying that, and that is a valid order block. So what we ideally want to see in today's price action would be a trade down to this level here, and then taking a long for a reflex there to the top side. So that would be the big picture trade that we're looking for today. Because if we look back here, you can see this area right here has been very strong with buyers. And so to have that order block there would be extremely interesting to see the price come back down to that area, and then we retest that area and look for a long there. So that's what I'd be looking for, big picture today in the NQ. Hey, Kenny, how you doing? So no trades yet for me here. Let's go ahead and switch over in the NQ here on the book map. So again, very strong tape here in the book map. We are kind of at this area here. If we're looking at E signal, we'll drop it down to the 5-minute here. You can see we are at these peaks right now. Right around this area here. So if we got an auction to pull up to that 894 level, 894.50, I'd be interested in definitely looking at taking that short, initially targeting that 871. But until it gets up to one of those areas, probably not going to be interested in taking a trade. Hey, Neon. Hey, Shane, Kim, good morning. Shane and Neon, Kenny, Discount, Jay, Smooth, Pixie. Hopefully I got everybody. Remember, if you're in here, do me that favor, as you guys always do. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It's usually right down there. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. Lets YouTube know you like what we're doing here. So we might just be skittering around here for a little bit. At 8:30, we do have some news coming out. We do have the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity that's out at 8:30. We got the Red Book retail sales that are out at 8:55. And then we have a whole swath of data that's coming out at the 10 and 10:30 hour. So today is going to be all about data. Very big on data today. And that's what's going to be moving the market, as well as some positioning. Right now, we're in a beautiful area of volatility in the market. And this final week of September, of course, is the end of Q3. So we do have some earnings this week. I believe Costco is reporting after the bell today. We also have Nike. I believe they're on Wednesday or Thursday. And Micron, I believe, is on Wednesday as well. So very scant in the way of earnings this week. But Friday is the final day of Q3, final trading day of Q3. And then we finally kick off Q4 2023. And so with the end of the quarter coming up, we should see an immense amount of volatility. I mean, yesterday, very volatile session. If you were on the wrong side of the session yesterday, you got pretty beat up. And today could be, again, one of those sessions where it's very mixed. If you look back here, and we're looking at the chart, yesterday's session here was very much, it was up and down and mixed and everything. And now we're kind of just right back where we were yesterday. So really yesterday's session was for the market makers. That's the type of session where they make a lot of their coin is in a session like that. Because very washy, very rinsy. And we end up being in the same spots that we opened basically yesterday. So nothing really in the way of positioning, just a big wash yesterday. So now we are looking for this to push up again to that 894 level in the NQ here. See if we can remain strong above this area right here. So watching for this to push up. We'll see what happens around this 94.5 level here. It's showing a lot of strength, and I'm not seeing a lot of the components of the NQ that are really perking up. In fact, Apple and Microsoft very docile here. And we don't have another print for 22 minutes. Like I said, in 22 minutes, we're going to have the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity. And that can definitely move the market, but it's not going to be an extreme print. There are some extreme prints that we have, like CPI, PPI, PMI. There's a lot of different prints that can move the market at that 830 print. This is not really one of those big important prints unless it's a big shocker of a print. So we'll keep an eye out for that and see if there's anything worth trading in the afterglow of that print or leading up to the print. So just watching here right around this 894.5 level, looking for some exhaustion to show up in the tape here. Anybody watching have any trades on right here? Anybody have anything possibly anticipating this 894.5 level in the NQ? Point of control has actually moved up here as well. So we had a sort of a wick and a reject there at that 894 level. I'd like to see some weakness show up here, and then I could be confidently taking a short from this area here. So just waiting for that to set up for me. Could also keep a tight risk if I wanted to go into it. What minute candle is your chart? This one right here is a 5 minute. It says right here, that's the current time frame that it's showing. So just watching the auction participants up here in this level. Point of control is up here as well. A little bit of stalling. I'm going to take that short right there. I'm going to put my my stop right above those wicks right there in case it does have a wild whip to the top side there. So let's see if we can get below this encroachment zone here. Let's see if we get this nice flush now. So we are short NQ. Looking for this to roll on down. little bit of resistance on the way down here. I want to see this to be continually weak. Potentially add into some pops here. Just watching closely. Little weakness there. Very nice. So looking for this clean snap down through around 76, 75. There's a little block of liquidity that we have to get through first for this trade to be validated. So we are getting a little bit of stalling here. I want to see that weakness into the 80s, low 80s. And this is the break I'm looking for right here, low 80 break. There's that low 80, covering 2 lots here on the bid. A little bit of strength here that it is showing. It is popping back up there. I'm going to move my stop down just in case we do get a wild whip back up. Covering one more lot here. Again, I'm going to move my stop right to break even there on the rest. Just in case we get this wild whip, because we have been testing those 80s. It's not snapping just yet. I wanted to see a violent snap through the 80s there. There we go. There's that snap we're looking for. Let's see if we can actually get the follow through. The big buyer there at the 80s right now. All right, so we got stopped out there. Pretty tight stop, just in case we got that wild whip back up. But that starts us off with, do the profit here. There we go. 262.52 start us off. And that was just tapping that weakness from that 894 level there that we're looking at. And this could flush much lower, but I was keeping my stop pretty tight there just in case we did have that wild whip back up through 85.5. But definitely seeing that weakness here. Do you have any questions about that trade? If you are enjoying this, of course, make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button, hitting that subscribe button with your notifications bell turned on. If you're copying that amongst 3 accounts, which was what you could do on Top Step, be almost $1,000 there. Remember, on Top Step, you can copy up to 3 accounts and multiply your winnings, which is really, really cool. How many lots did we start with? 2, I believe. Started with 2, brought it up to 5, and then final lot out at 6. But so with Top Step, if you've never traded futures before, it's a really great opportunity to be able to jump in and start trading futures, because there really is no big upfront cost. You can start for as low as $49 and you don't have to put your own capital at risk. Hey, good morning there, Papa Bull. Great start looking to pass 2 Apex evals today. Going to take it nice and slow with micros. There you go. That's the way to do it. Very, very nice. So yeah, we are kind of just holding this this area. I'm probably going to wait to take a trade in 13 minutes here when we have that data print come out, because it is kind of waffling around here. So just a quick scalp to start us off, putting us in the green here, $262. Oatmeal says, easy peasy start. Nice work there. Looks like he's up over $300 there on that trade. Very nice. And there we are. We're springing right back up there. Go back to the E signal here. Springing right back up. That 80 didn't want to break for us. If we had that 80 break, right around here where you're seeing the bottom ends of these wicks, if we had that 80 break, we would have encroached in that 71. And with the remainder of the position I had on 3 lots, that would have been another $600. So I was holding out for that. And that's why we used our stop there. And that's why we got stopped out of that. Because if you're looking back here at Ninja Trader, we had our stop pretty tight right there. That's the topping blue arrow. That's where we had our stop. And by having that stop, we saved ourselves from losing on that extension there against us. And that's why we always trade with stops with the futures. And yeah, we had a really nice cover there at the lows. Right there on that blue arrow right there. So like I said, we're going to have that Philly data out. That is going to be the non-manufacturing activity. It's going to be out at 8:30. I might actually want to hit this weakness again here, but it is pretty washy. It's very washy. I think the best opportunity here is to wait for that data to come out. And once that data comes out, we can then make a informed decision on what we do with the price action beyond this, because we are sort of in between levels here. We're in between that 871 and that 894.5. And being between those levels here, not really setting up perfectly for a trade. I did like this weakness right here on that wick, on that 5. Really did like that weakness there, and that's the one I was looking to attack. So we are pushing up a little bit higher here. I've been chart buying. When you're scalping like this, do you place a market order or pick a price to enter at? I'm using either buy market, buy ask, sell ask, buy bid, or sell bid on Chart Trader, on Ninja Trader. And then if I want to layer where I'm either entering or exiting my trade, then I'm using the dome. The super dome in Ninja Trader is what it's called. That's generally what I'm using for any of my entries and exits there. So nice little scalp here to start us off. And we'll just be relaxing here until 10 minutes. We get that data print and then see if we have something encroaching in the structure that we can flip a trade on here. Right now, we're just kind of chopping around at this upper area here. One of the things that I would like to do on these YouTube streams, as they become more and more increasingly popular, we are getting more and more viewers daily here. So as they become more and more popular, I would like to do extended streams where we're not constraining ourselves to only trading between 8 and 9 a.m. and then potentially even trading the open on some of these streams as well. So there's that weakness again. Like I said, I'm just going to be holding off here. Definitely are some opportunities for scalping in these areas, kind of like how we had that scalp there. But this close to the data coming out, I definitely want to be patient and just waiting for our next trade to set up here. I had a really good time doing the webinar yesterday, and it was really cool to see everybody in Clubhouse posting their charts with the order blocks that they were identifying. And then we're going to be doing some strategy either on Thursday or Friday in that webinar where we discuss how we can then use the order blocks that we identify to set us up for a trade. And there's going to be a multi-tiered strategy approach to that. It's going to be a lot of exciting strategy to go over. So very excited about that. We are just rinsing around here. So Papa Bull, how close are you to passing those Apex evals? How much more room do you need to get those things passed? And would that be your first Apex evals that you're passing here? Curious about that. Apex is great because you can trade up to 20 accounts at one single time. And the only thing that I don't like about Apex is the fact that there's that interposition trailing drawdown. Outside of that, they're really great. The fact that you can use up to 20 accounts at once. It really allows you to get some big leverage on a very low cost. Pixie says, the webinar was great. When you showed that example of the order block during the webinar, I knew instantly I'd seen it in yesterday's chart. That's great. Dude asked, when will yesterday's webinar be in the archive? It'll be in there within 24 hours, so before the market is closed today. About 300 away from 2 evals and 400 another 2 evals would be my first PAs, hopefully. Well, good luck to you. Hopefully that works out. Sounds like you're very close and you're going to be on your way. So we're back down to the 80s here. Looks like it might actually bust on through this time. Just took a couple taps. Unfortunately, we don't have a trade on for this. Just waiting for that news here. Got 6 minutes until the newsprint. So this is the original weakness that we wanted to see when we took our trade back here. We wanted to see that weakness kind of flow through. We did get a pretty low tick there. And that one almost bottom ticked the edge of that candle, but it is flushing lower here. And this is the trade that I would have liked to have on here originally. Trailing drawdown sucks. Have you tried trading the top step accounts before they're Papa Bull? Mike Drucker says, oh, hell yeah. Trading the open here. Yeah, definitely. I think it'd be a lot of fun. The one thing that is a little bit difficult about trading in a very specific time slot here is that I can't control what the market does, obviously. I wish I could, but it's some days you're going to have that trouble where it's squeezing water out of a rock. And I can't control when the best alpha is going to be there. I can't control what times we're going to be at certain areas of the chart. And the more time that I have exposure to the market on the stream, the more likely it is that we're going to set up for a really great trade. And so, yeah, we're going to be hopefully on one of these days, perhaps this week, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, trading into the open here. And that'll be really, really great to do that. Yeah, we're really getting that push down now that we really wanted to see on that original trade. Great call on that short. Yeah. If you got that weakness, if you hit that second attempt there, I was waiting for the news because I thought we would have been pretty tight and constrained there. But we are back down to that 71 level. If we're looking over at the E signal here, we're back down to that 71 level. So beautiful short opportunity from up here down to that 71 level. Papa Bull says, I have in the beginning when I first started trying to focus on one prop firm, but I'm thinking of adding a few top step combines. Yeah, highly recommend it. If you want 60% off, there's a link in the description down below there. Highly recommend Top Step because it's the closest thing to trading your own money. That trailing drawdown is not there. There's just a max daily loss. And the best part about that max daily loss is that even if you hit it in one day, you still get to come back tomorrow to trade it the next day. So it doesn't take you completely out of the game. Whereas Apex accounts, you can blow them in one single day and it can just take you right out. So let's see if that news affects anything. It's out here in 3.5 minutes. Really getting that beautiful fade here now. Unfortunately, this is the timing of the market. Sometimes it doesn't wait for you. And sometimes you're just a little bit too early on one of your trades, which is what we were on that very first attempt. And we were waiting for the news, trying to be patient for that, thinking that the market was going to hold off for the next setup. And it unfortunately just went without us, but that's okay. We'll see if that newsprint creates some more opportunities here out in 3 minutes. We are now kind of auctioning to the lower end of this area here. right around that 71 level. But yeah, I really enjoy trading these top step accounts now. The combines are great. They're very affordable. You get a lot of bang for your buck. I trade the 150K accounts because essentially you get $4,500 worth of drawdown. 50Ks you get about, I think it's $2,000 worth of drawdown, and the 100Ks I think you get $3,000 worth of drawdown. All right, so we're holding here at these lows. 2 minutes until the newsprint. See if this thing wants to bounce, if the table wants to bounce in this area here. This is where we've had some strength showing up. Here early on in the pre-market, we tested this level earlier, but now we're testing it once more, and we're showing a little bit of weakness here. So let's see what happens on that print. All right, just over a minute here until we get that print. Oops, didn't mean to put that order there. I accidentally clicked the Superdome there. Clicking back over to my screen. Didn't mean to place that order. Thankfully, didn't get filled. All right, 45 seconds till the print. Big bottoming tail so far. All righty, let's see here. Print is out in 10 seconds. So minus 16.6 versus a minus 13.1 prior. Should be pretty decent news for the market here. You do want to see, the Fed does want to see those numbers lower. So there's a favorable print. Let's see if the market reacts in a favorable fashion here. Ideally, I'd like to see a test back at 871 and then hit that with weakness. But it might not. Just wait for us here. A little bit of weakness here. Is kind of holding this area here. See if it has persistent weakness here. A lot of overhead liquidity too that I'm watching. Still a decent amount of weakness here. So I'd like to see this push back into the 60s and then see if we have weakness on that bounce up to the 60s here. So watching this closely. Still looking generally pretty weak here. See if they swipe this top side liquidity. So I'm waiting for this weakness to subside here. It does seem like it's slowing down a little bit. So just being patient here. We're in the mid 50s. See some liquidity down there at the low 50s as well. We break this area, these lows right here. All right, I'm going to take on a lot right there. Move my stop to above these wicks, high 50s. And if we get a test of that 50 and we break through that 50, I'd be interested in adding. So watching these low 50s here. Watching on this bounce. Keeping my stop pretty tight here. Now let me move that out of the way. There we go. It is slowing down just a little bit here. So we could consolidate, but then get another push back down to the downside here. But keeping my stop pretty tight just in case. I want to see 55 kind of weak here. So that's what I'm watching. Keeping an eye on the book map. This is where the overnight VWAP is, right around this 55 area. So if we remain weak below this, then I'm interested in hitting this pretty aggressively. That's why we have our stop pretty tight there at 58.5. So that would kind of negate the trade. You can see here volume sort of slowing down. I want to see the 50 level just crack with a weakness here, but we might end up bouncing right back up here. So stopped out right there on that one. Potentially would re-hit that if we show weakness right here just below 60, because that's where this area of the structure is right here. This area to the left-hand side. So if we show weakness and we bounce back up to that 60, that's where I'd be interested in taking my third trade here for the morning. So right there, move our stop to about, let's go to 60.25. Remember, we're looking for that weakness below 50. That's what we're looking for. So watching for this fade below 50 here. A little hesitation there at the 50s. Watching for this crack right through the 50s here. Big psych level here at 850. I'm not seeing those sellers stepping up right there below 50 where I want to see them. If we do have weakness on this bounce, I will tap into this a little bit more. Right there at 55 again. Looking for that weakness below 55 and then a slam and pull through 50 again. That's what we're looking for here. So watching this pull through 50 once more. See if we get this liquidity here at 50 that they're offering. A little bit of consolidation down here. Still showing weakness though. Just want to see that big snap through 50 here. I'm looking like the sell side pressure is giving up a little bit here. So just eyeing this for weakness. Volume got pretty scant down here too. But I think that we could still get that pull right through the 50s. So just letting the trade work here. And this is sometimes the trouble of trading here in the pre-market, is that volume is pretty scant. So you can run into a situation where if you have consolidation and you have a certain trade idea where we're looking for a fade, sometimes you won't get that to develop in the situation that you want. We did see volume declining steadily into that pull there, so may end up getting stopped out here. Let's see if we can have that weakness just below 60. So watching closely here. I want to be just a touch above 60 in case we get that whip and then that reject here. So I'm watching closely here. Looks like we're going to get that snap right through 60 and probably get stopped out here. Pretty close to being stopped out here. If this does snap around that 56 area, I'm going to go full size, because that would be a great rejector of that 60 level. So right there, going full size. See if we get this breakdown at 56 and test that 50 again. Very, very low volume here too. So very easy to move the tape with very few lots. Big, big buyer there, but met with a large sell. Let's see here. 150 lots, and then looks like total about 200 lots there purchased, but big liquidity on the ask there, absorbing that. So let's see if we actually get this pull down through the 55s now. So that kind of liquidity being stuffed is sometimes seen as a positive thing. But if there's no offer to get in the way of it, you can have these big pulls back up to the top side here. It's interesting too, not a lot of larger cap tech is moving at all on this. So we're just using that 60 level to kind of guide us through this trade. If we have that 60 level pop, we're going to get stopped out. That 60 level holds for us, then we will have a nice trade back down into the low 50s here. Nice pull down. See if we can hold this weakness here below the 53s, get into the low 50s here, and then that punch through 50s to the downside. A lot of liquidity too, resting below the 50s. I think they'll want to entertain. I'm actually going to put an order down here to fill. Perfect flush. All right, now we're going to run the rest of these three here, putting the stop rate below those wicks. So we got that exact flush we're looking for. Thankfully, it didn't perk back above the 60s because that would have knocked us out of the trade. But we did get that pull back into the 50s and that low dip below the 50s, which is what I was looking for there. And now we might get stopped out here because our stop is right there above the 50s, 50 and a quarter. Papa Bull says that absorption of the buy was key. Nicely done. Yeah, we saw that this right here, that absorption. I was just worried that we're going to get that little perk above 60. So I moved my stop a little bit higher than that area there because there's the worry that we're going to have that little perk right there above the 60s. And that could have taken us out. So I moved the stop up just a little bit there. Pixie says, I feel like I would have already been out of my position by now. It's so great to see your patience. Yeah, with futures, you have to be really, really patient. You're not in control of the market. All you are in control of is your reaction to the market. So I'm just holding right here above 50. We might get tapped out and then it might go lower. But I'm just holding here in case we get that flush, that beautiful flush below the 50s. But you have to be very patient with futures. I know it's fun to scalp sometimes. We did a little scalp here off the open. But the key is to just be patient. There you go. There's that beautiful flush. And then a big bounce. I'm going to actually cover, let's see here. No, we are rejecting that. That's good. Very nice. I'm going to cover one more into this push lower. There we go. Now running two lots. I'm going to move my stop now down to the lower end of that wick. Keeping this trade rolling here. So we have that level of 837 there to the lows. That's what we're looking at. Neon says, great trade, Rips. Had some nice ads at the top near the 60 level. Great job there, Neon. Well done. Yeah, that trade out played out very, very nicely. We had that beautiful weak bounce. And thankfully, we didn't get that push up above the 60s. It can happen all the time and it can wick you out. Nice work there, dude. Made $300. Very good. So we're just trailing our final two lots here. I'm actually going to take off one right here if we get filled on the bid. Might actually have to. There we go. Got filled on the bid. And then we're going to do our last lot. We're going to leave our stop right there. Nice work there, Oatmeal. Very well done. So we have our final lot here. Stop is at 47 3/4 for our final lot here. And this actually worked out because now the stream is going to be over here in about 10 minutes. So this is actually one of those days where we had a nice resolution on what we were looking for. And the trade worked out exactly as we wanted. You're not going to have that every time, though. You have to remember you're on the market's time. When you're trading, you have no control over whatever the market's going to do. All you have control over is your reactions to the market and how you trade around those movements in the market. You cannot control what the market does, when the market does what it's going to do. And because of that, all that's really required of you as a trader is to focus and trade your best and do it with discipline. And if you find yourself having a lack of discipline, or you're getting nervous with trades, or whatever the case, that's what you have to work on within yourself. The market's not going to fix those problems for you. All right, we got stopped out there. So that puts us at, on the day here, let's see, $1,930. So nice trade here. for the pre-market action. Up $1,930. Go ahead and update that here. And there we go. Thanks, Ben. How you doing, buddy? Lost on the way. Thanks for showing up. You really make it look so easy. Yeah, that's what being in this game for... Now, it's going to be 11 years, actually. I keep on saying 10 years. It's going to be 11 years. It may already be 11 years. I got to go back and check and see when I opened my first brokerage account. But yeah, I've been trading for over a decade now. And futures was a big part of that. I actually traded futures for a very, very long time. And it got to the point where I couldn't stop trading futures. I was trading futures around the clock. That's the one thing with futures products is that they trade 23 hours a day. And if you are really into trading, like I am, I love trading, you end up kind of trading them all the time. There's some folks here in Clubhouse who like to trade Sunday Globex. I'm one of those people from time to time, but it could be one of those things that futures being open 23 hours a day, except for Saturdays. Saturdays you get a break. Sundays they open at 6 p.m. But if you really love to trade, it could be one of those things where it will make it very easy for you to not be able to stay away from the market. Pixie says, I see my faults as a new trader. Watching you and hearing your thought process, the visuals are super helpful. Thank you and appreciate it, Ribs. Awesome. Great. Well, I'm going to be wrapping it up here. I'm going to continue trading over in Clubhouse as I usually do. If you want to check out Clubhouse, there's a link in the description below where you can check us out for $7 for 7 days. And we'd love to have you over there. We have a great community, a really supportive community there. And we trade the open in there and we do a morning call. And we have great webinars. Yesterday, we had a great webinar about order blocks, introduction to order blocks. And then later this week, either on Thursday or on Friday, we're going to be doing another webinar, which is the advanced order blocks webinar, where we're talking about specific strategies that you can employ with that. So maybe you come check us out. And again, always, folks, if you are enjoying this, please make sure you are hitting that thumbs up button. It's usually right down there. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel with your notifications turned on so you can be notified anytime that we're going live here. You'll get a push notification on your phone, and it'll let you know that when we're going live. Because some days we're going to have some surprise streams where we're going live in the middle of the day. So you want to make sure that you are subscribed with your notifications turned on so you can check that out. Also, if you want a deal on Top Step, you can get it linked down there below. Start trading for $49. It's trading futures. If you've never traded it before, you don't have to pay for platform. You don't have to pay for data. That's a great way to start with futures. But any questions before I go, before I lock things up here? Again, we're up $1,930 on, it was basically 3 trades. We got 1 wrong, 2 right. And yeah, just trading around the market structure there. A lot of fun. Always a lot of fun to trade here with you folks. Doesn't look like any questions here, either on Discord or on YouTube. So like I said, I'm going to lock it up here. I always do stream Bookmap, so it's going to look like this throughout the day. So if you want to stick around, Bookmap will be streaming all day long there in full screen. So if you want to have it on another screen, you can see Bookmap. And I think the delay is very short. It's something like a 1 or 2 second delay. So if you want to stick around for that, great. Other than that, I will catch you folks there in the Clubhouse for the morning call in a couple minutes here. And I will see you guys there also for live trading. Hope everybody out there has a great trading day today. Good luck. Trade smart. We do have a lot of, yeah, I could zoom in for that. So something like that, maybe. Yeah, we can keep that zoomed in for you. But yeah, like I said, gonna be a fun day today. Ben says, have a good day, big homie. I'm gonna dig a hole. Oh, good luck to you, Ben. Hopefully you can nail one of those SPY trades again. You're always crushing those SPY trades lately. Really love seeing you crushing those options there, Ben. Well done. But yeah, we're gonna lock it up here. I will see everybody tomorrow here on YouTube, same time, 8 a.m. And if the trade is favorable, maybe we'll trade it all the way into the open tomorrow. But other than that, locking it up here, up $1,930. And I'll see you guys in Clubhouse. Take care, everybody. And I'll see you guys on YouTube tomorrow.